This week's chapter, we got some answers to questions that, honestly, I kind of sat back on regarding last week's use of Momo hearing a voice. Was it Zunisha? Is it an ancient weapon? We find that out this week and see exactly how many theories were wrong, right, and why I am best not doing theories. These are my thoughts on and review for chapter 1015 of One Piece, titled Chains. This week we got ourselves a bit of a loaded chapter, so I'll try and hit as much as I can remember, but I will probably miss a thing or two. But before I get into like the biggest meat and potatoes, I want to hit a few nuanced things I kind of don't want to forget, because I don't feel like some people mention these. For example, we get to see some of the Smile users that have eaten Dango already, but because Tama hasn't issued an order, they still are on the Beast Pirate side. So things can still flip. We've all been hyping up Tama's thing as if everything's already been set in stone, but Tama has yet to actually issue orders. If anything, something from this chapter can kind of give us a hint on how that can be possible, but that depends on what happens with Momo going forward. So I guess I should start with Momo and Kinemon first. Kinemon is alive. Kiku and Kanjuro could be dead. Like I said last week, that it looked as if the entire top half of Kinemon had gotten smashed to bits. But this is Oda. Even if Kinemon does die, which it looks like he might still, he wasn't going to go that far. That was just my wishful thinking from reading too much Berserk in the last few weeks. I digress. It seems that, at the very least, he was most certainly alive at the beginning of the chapter, but he could certainly be dead now. And the seconds that Kaido chastised him of buying were immediately paid off through, Momonosuke, using the Mary that Shinobu had been pointing out throughout all of last chapter. Genius Oda, what looked like a stupid line for most people, was an exact tie-in to this chapter, with Momo using said frog to let everyone know that Luffy is alive. And before I delve into that big shtick, I also kind of want to go around to Sanji's, saving of Chopper in the performance floor before handing Zoro off to him. He did, remind Chopper that they have seen this same exact scenario pretty much multiple times so far. It's not worth it to get all choked up, just keep fighting. And with Momo putting the icing on the cake, things are looking much better for the Straw Hats. You see shots of everyone getting reinvigorated, and Luffy did get saved by the Heart Pirates, and Jean Bart was at least in the panel. I'm not sure if he was the one who fully said, yeah, let's go save him, but he was there, so somewhat of a connection of Jean Bart giving his thanks for Shabandi. I think I mispronounced Shabandi every single other time until recently, but my friend, one of my friends from high school is also a YouTuber. He actually looked it up on one of his reactions to Shabandi recently, and yeah, no, Shabandi. It doesn't look like it, so I'm gonna have to say it like 50 times to get used to it, but Shabandi. Luffy will be perfectly fine once he just reinvigorates himself. I mean, the Heart Pirates in general do seem to have a lot of medical expertise, even without law right by their side, so they should be able to give any first aid necessary. And then, as for getting Luffy back to Onigashima, that's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but we'll see. We'll end up seeing how that pans out. That's gonna be what takes him a while. And Yamato, per the title Chains, says he's gonna cut the chains and, no longer be known as Kaido's child, or no longer call Kaido his father. So that's gonna be interesting for next chapter. Like I said, I've kind of just been jumping around. I'm once again going on a more unscripted route, but trying to hit as much as possible. It is a little difficult, not gonna lie. But what I really want to delve into more, I feel like how Luffy communicated, even though it was pretty spot on what he wanted Momo to say, I don't think he really meant to consciously, give Momo directions. It was more like his spirit. Because let's be honest, he's been thinking about the samurai and Momo when it comes to fighting Kaido. He's not just fighting Kaido to fight Kaido. He's fighting Kaido for reasons tied directly to Wano. So, he probably didn't mean to give Momo orders by any means, but you know what? It happened, and Momo had the means to receive that call to action and put that call to action out using the Marys, which, once again, I'm diverting all around. I believe that if Momo crosses paths with Tama, Tama can do the same thing using the Frog Mary and relay orders to the Smile Pirates, the Smile users that have already eaten the Dango. So we might be able to see a flip on the narrative soon, but it's only gonna show just how much more damage can everyone take. At the very least, depending on how Yamato versus Kaido plays out, obviously Yamato's not gonna beat Kaido, but what we really need to see is how long can Yamato last and what kind of damage can Yamato deal. Depending on those two factors, Kaido might not be able to continue his cleanup operation, with his only real casualty being Kinemon. And on that note, I didn't mention it when I did go over Kinemon, but if he does die here as opposed to last chapter, I'm okay with it solely because I did actually enjoy Oda taking us back through a flashback to show just how difficult it might have been for Kinemon and Momo to start calling themselves father and son during their little guise earlier. But it also goes to show the bond between them, because Kinemon most certainly was an actual father figure for Momo. So losing him will be devastating. And honestly, drawing back on that for us will make any death he actually does go through, if he goes through, hit a lot harder. So I do think that as long as Oda sticks the landing with killing Kinemon, even though I love Kinemon and don't want him to die, I want him to die. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I'm pretty sure most of us are on the same mindset. We don't want Kinemon to die, but because we don't want him to die, we want him to die because it's that emotional connection to him that will make his sacrifice hit hard. Probably even harder than Pedro's and Whole Cake Island. So, fingers crossed. We just gotta hope Oda's gonna stick the landing. And no break next week. But I might have a slightly delayed review next week. The 13th is actually my birthday, and I will be out and about for most of that entire day. Maybe some of the evening. I do have the next day off of my job, so if I don't make a recording later in the night, depending on how much of a celebration my family, followed by my friends, have, I will try and have a review sometime in Monday morning. I will work on some visuals during my little bit of free time, either the day of or come up with ideas for the day before, or at least partially script, because I still wait for the official release. But nonetheless, I have been Smalls of Black Knight Anime and Manga, and I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will really be doing the face cam a little bit more often going forward. I just didn't do it this time, kind of because I'm still working with the new equipment. This is on the new computer, so if there's any changes in audio or anything, it's because I'm working on setting up all of the devices and all the programming to this new computer. So hopefully at least the editing will be better, although I don't have a mouse on this computer, so fingers crossed. Until next time, I hope to see you guys next week. Stay safe.